Hi, it's Lee talking about HB24. This is the state of Texas bill that is the only one that applies to all cities regardless of size. So again, HB24 is a big deal because it impacts probably you. Changes the rules for all protests involving residential components, and it allows new zoning. So it's kind of a mixed bag as far as what it sounds like. Let's get into it. So again, the type of language that is used in the bills is legalese, but what they're going to do is they're going to basically break down when you can protest a new project, a proposed new project, under what conditions. For those who have listened to my SB840 discussion, you know that's by right. So HB24 is not going to apply to any project that meets those requirements. And the reason being is those are done by right. So there's not going to be a hearing of sorts. So again, keep all this in mind. A lot of moving parts as we get our arms around these new regulations in Texas. HB24, if you want to protest, it's because they were looking for a rezoning. Someone was looking for a rezoning of that site. So again, HB24 on this slide goes on to the image is that it's going to be hard to kill projects. The image is that the NIMBYs were the ones causing all these problems, and that's why we don't have new housing. But again, I want to bring to your attention that there has always been a process, even when there was housing as part of the proposed project. And again, it didn't always go the way that those protesting wanted. So again, there's always a hearing and if you will, a process. Why I pointed this out was because HB24, this is a note from, or an article from Austin Business Journal, clarifies how cities can rewrite land development codes around the construction of new housing. So for those in Austin, we all know what that could mean, right? Here's another thing about the image. They've been calling this the Tyrant's Veto. Again, you know, this is part of the image of property rights being really misaligned with what I think should be the view, which is how do you solve the problem without getting into this name calling or creating friction and creating more problems when it's not necessary. So with the passage of HB24, the image is that now they're going to restore all this great stuff and protect your rights to build on your own land. Again, very one-sided view in my opinion. For those who are looking at something that's being proposed nearby that's all commercial, nothing changes with HB24. What could change is if your city rewrites its zoning code and it allows something that you weren't expecting. That is possible. But again, the image here is that you've got these NIMBYs and that they're not going to allow an HVB or whatever else. Again, this is part of the process. If you're trying to get something that is not by right, and in this case HEB must not have something by right, that is an opportunity for those near the proposed project to articulate and to say, no, we don't want this, and here's why.